Welcome to Trail Tuesday, and the truth will set you free. Today, we're going to be going over seasonal affective disorder. Now, this isn't just a standard winter blues. This is a physiologic effect that affects your brain, your hormones level, literally the entire quality of life. Now, luckily, it's not, you don't need pharmaceuticals to get over this. We're going to cover the keys to health, how this actually affects your body, your brain, your lifestyles, everything, and natural solutions that you can implement today so that you can thrive during winter, not suffer. Well, let's get into this. Now, the seasonal affective disorder is not a winter blues. This is recognized as a medical condition, devastating to your lifestyle. Now, most people say it begins in fall and can start to end in spring, but you're looking, that's 40% of the year. Now, it's not inevitable that you have to suffer through this, and you don't need pharmaceutical products. What we're going to go through is literally simple, basic, common sense strategies, science-backed, that you can reclaim your life. And let's get into this. So the global reach, you're looking at 5% of adults around the world experience seasonal affective disorder, SAD. Now, that doesn't sound like a lot, but you're talking millions and millions of people. Now, an additional 10 to 20% have a more milder form of winter blues. And this is just going to be limiting activity, everything else, but also the ratio of men to women or women to men. 9 more women are affected more than men, but also men are known to report it less. And the common age for onset is 20 years to 30 years old. Now think of this. This is when you're just starting your careers. You're getting life around. And if 40% of your year is affected by emotional stress, physical stress, chemical stress, I mean, literally, you're not going to be able to thrive. So we're going to go over how to reverse this process. Now, there's a thing called the latitude effect, and it's literally the further or your distance away from the equator, you're going to notice an increase in symptoms. It's literally, we're designed to have that sunlight. And if you look at the comparison, Florida, New Hampshire, in Florida, you got a 1.4% of seasonal affective disorder, and in New Hampshire, 9.7%. So you could be a snowbird and move to Florida, but that's not really an option for the majority of us. So let's go over what you can do to literally reverse this process, even if you do live in a low light or low sunlight area. Now, what are the symptoms you got to watch out for? 1, persistent low energy, extreme fatigue. Now, this isn't just a little bit of fatigue. This is a fatigue that's constant, that's always there, that's limiting your activities, that's affecting your emotional health as well. Oversleeping. It's literally like your body wants to go into hibernation. And it doesn't matter how much you sleep. If you're sleeping 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 hours, you're still waking up fatigued. You don't have the energy. And this is life sucking. And then craving for carbohydrates. Literally, the constant chewing stimulates that parasympathetic, that rest, digest, and repair. But it's also, it helps you generate certain hormones. So it gives you the energy. Since you have no energy, the sleep isn't restoring your body. You're looking for that energy from quick carbohydrates, pasta, sugars. And what does this lead to? Weight gain, particularly in the belly, seat, and thighs. And that's a cortisol distribution of weight. And then you're looking at social withdrawal. Literally, you're limiting your activities because of fatigue, anxiety, just no energy. And the one of the worst parts is loss of interest in your favorite activities. You don't want to go out and socialize. You just want to hibernate and stay in that cave. And this literally destroys most people's lives. Now, luckily, nearly all diseases have 3 core stressors, and seasonal affective disorder, SAD, is hitting all 3 of these. And I like quoting myself. Sad is not a character flaw or a sign of weakness. It's a real physiological response to your environment, a sign that your body is under stress. Absolutely. And when you break it down, there's only three stressors. Chemical stress. Now, this has to do with your distance away from the equator. That low light triggers a massive hormonal change in your system. And this changes your brain chemistry, your body chemistry, and your hormone levels to adapt to this low light stressor. Physical stress. And this interrupts your natural circadian rhythms of the sleep and wake cycle. The longer periods of darkness literally disrupts your natural circadian rhythms. And then this puts your nervous system in a stress state, altering your physiology. And then the chemical stress and physical stress lead to your body's emotional stress response. And this is a burden because it makes you not want to do anything. And you got to figure you have this automatic nervous system, and you could be in stress or regeneration. When you're in that stress state, physical, chemical, emotional stress, your body can't function and your brain adapts to that chronic stress. And luckily, you're not doomed for this. There are solutions. Now, when you look at the low light, how this affects your natural circadian rhythms, we have a normal clock, okay? And this is the wake-sleep cycle. Now, winter and that decreased sunlight really disrupts this clock, causing a phase delay. So your internal schedule for sleep, energy, hunger no longer matches the time of the day. And luckily, there's a solution. But when we break it down, let's look at the chemical stressors. Let's just break down to serotonin and dopamine. Now, serotonin, this is a chemical that regulates mood, sleep, appetite, and sunlight exposure produces it. And so the impact in winter, you're looking at lower serotonin. This activity leads to feelings of depression and carb craving because you want to get that energy from the food. Now, dopamine is the motivation molecule. Dopamine is involved in your brain's reward and motivation system. Now, the impact, the disturbance in dopamine can also lead to fatigue, low motivation, apathy, which is super common in seasonal affective disorder or SAD. And so now we have to look at this chemistry change that happens in your brain and your body based on the low sunlight. Now, we also have melatonin and vitamin D, which are amazing. Now, melatonin, you can call it the sleep hormone, and your brain produces it, but the increased dark and decreased sunlight, which generally signals your body to sleep. But when you have more darkness and less sunlight, you have an alteration in the normal production of the melatonin. So shorter days, less light, overproduction of melatonin, and this leads to lethargy, that leads to sleepiness. It's just big increased fatigue because you're not getting the rest that you need. And vitamin D, this is the sunshine vitamin. It's literally produced by your skin, and it acts as a hormone crucial for brain function and serotonin regulation. Now, in low light, you get low vitamin D levels. In the winter, it's strongly linked to depression system and also weakened immune system. When we look at this is a perfect storm in the wintertime for SAD. And it's not caused by one thing. It's not just the low light exposure. It's a chain reaction where environmental triggers trigger physical, chemical, and then this leads directly to emotional stressors. That physical stress, that disruption in the natural circadian rhythms. And this leads to a change in neurotransmitter production and hormone imbalances. And those combined lead to the emotional stressors. And this literally suppresses how your body can achieve life and adapt to the environment. Now, there are solutions, and we're going to cover the 5 simple steps to reverse this destructive process. Number 1, you've got to have a healthy nervous system. So this means you've got to look at any possible physical stressors. So that central nervous system, the brain and spinal cord, and you have this automatic nervous system. Then you could be in stress or regeneration. You're looking at sympathetic, parasympathetic, and this is located in the spine. So you've got to get your nervous system clear of interference. And then your body's going to be able to adapt. So find someone that can assess your structure and identify a problem, correct it, then show that they fixed it. So you got to clear that nervous system. Number 2, movement is a nutrient to the brain. If you could prescribe a nutrient or supplement that did as much as movement does, you're looking that it literally stimulates that brain. Exercising outdoors combines the benefits of movement with natural light exposure. So this is a great way to start managing that seasonal affective disorder. Exercise is a potent drug-free tool combating seasonal affective disorder. It literally directly boosts your feel-good chemistry in your brain, like endorphins and serotonins, helps regulate your circadian rhythms, reduces your stress hormones like cortisol. And so what you can do right now, look for at least a 30-minute brisk walk during the day. Start parking your car far away from the store and briskly walk to the store and look at symmetrical movement. This will get both halves of the brain to fire. Then look at gentle movements such as yoga or Tai Chi. Fantastic to calm that nervous system and get you out of the stress state. And choose an activity that you enjoy. So make it fun. Bike ride, walk, all the beautiful winter activities that you can do. But movement is a nutrient to the brain. Then we've got to nourish the mind. Okay, let food be your medicine and medicine be your food. You've heard this before. Vitamin D is crucial, and you get it from the sun, but you can also get it from fatty fish, egg yolks, fortified foods. So look at the healthy amounts of vitamin D that you can get from foods. Then omega-3s, essential or critical for components of the brain cells. And so in the wintertime, look at salmon, flax seeds, chia seeds, walnuts, healthy animal products, not the commercially produced animals that are raised on hormones. And then look at B vitamins. Now, this is produced in the gut, and these are essential for mood regulating and neurotransmitter production. So look at fermented foods, dark green leafy vegetables, beans, eggs, fish. And this is going to be vital to build that gut flora, get the nutrients that you need. And so today, right now, what you can do, incorporate more fatty fish, anchovy, mackerel, sardines, salmon, and incorporate this at least 2 to 3 meals a week. Then get a handful of walnuts or chia seeds. Add it to the daily diet. Just put it in anywhere. Just get it in your system. And then consult a qualified healthcare provider on your vitamin D levels, okay, and make sure that they're good. If not, start eating some more fatty fish and omega-3s. Then reset your rhythm. And this is really vital when you're looking at your sleep patterns, because with the light exposure change, okay, where you're getting more darkness, less light, do this right before. Go to bed and wake up at the same time, even on the weekends. This is why most people have a challenge on Monday morning. Why? Because they're partying on the weekends. Be consistent with your sleep schedule, because sleep is the most important part of your day. This is when your body literally goes into that parasympathetic state where your system goes to regenerate the tissue. Then in the morning, get bright sunlight or get bright light exposure the first thing in the morning. If you live in the northern latitudes, try and get a full spectrum light that you can get your body exposed to. Very, very common in northern latitudes. And keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. This bedroom area should be sacred. And then limit your exposure before bed. No TV, iPhones, cell pads, iPhones, no electronic devices, okay? At least 1 to 2 hours before bed, because those emit a blue light, which interrupts melatonin production. It also creates a beta wave state in your brain by passively staring, receiving information. Not a good thing to happen before bed. Avoid large meals before bed. Avoid caffeine at least 5 to 6 hours before sleep. And don't use your bedroom for work. Okay, for sure not. It should, or TV watching. That's the worst thing in the world, to watch TV while you're going to sleep. You're not going to achieve the deep sleep. Make sleep your sacred part of your day, because this is when your system regenerates. And then prayer and meditation. This is super important. Taking a few minutes every day to connect with a higher power and calm your system down. Absolutely essential. So start each day, because we're talking physical, chemical, emotional. When you master your emotions, you change your physiology. Okay, this is huge. And I always tell patients that we're on a three-legged stool: physical, chemical, emotional stress. So mindfulness practice, meditation practice, visualization practice, neurolinguistic programming, we teach every patient. And so start today. Start with 5 minutes, okay, of meditative breathing. That's in through the nose, out through the mouth. Expand your belly and chest at the same time. This is also considered heart math breathing, a version of it. So you're literally oxygenating the brain and calming your system down. Use guided meditation. So to pick moments in your life of joy. And the more you practice activating those old memories of joy, the better your brain gets at it. And literally, when you're thinking and visualizing moments of joy in your life, you're stimulating the limbic system. And the back half of that limbic system is the hypothalamus. And this controls hormone regulation, endocrine function. It controls the nervous system, controls pituitary function, everything. This is why it is so vitally important that you use mindfulness practices. You literally, in your body, you have the power to heal and be well. Now, we, at the Adaptive Physiology site, we do consultations, a whole bunch of things, and we run through the 5 keys to health. If you need a hand, get on there and I'll help you. We do consultations. I'll help in any way I can. So get on the adaptivephysiology.com site. We also have a really cool article on there. Sad No More. It's a brilliant referenced article that you can use, and you can get on adaptivephysiology.com and get a free account. So get on there and use the tools that we got. If you're able to get to one of my clinics, I've got a clinic in Tijuana, Mexico, and Huntington Beach, California. And for this winter, we're literally offering, and this is everything: a consultation, static and stress x-rays, thermography, report of findings, and even an adjustment. And it's $100. That covers everything. So, obviously the space is limited. Give us a call. If you can't get to me, at least implement the 5 keys to health as best you can. Your body is designed to thrive on this planet. And if you're suffering from seasonal affective disorder, you don't want to lose 40% of your year. Okay, be active now. Take aggressive steps to implement those 5 keys to health, and then you can thrive this winter. God bless you all.